lattes. That's good. Beer creamy lattes. Put cream in everything. Hello, Stinky Katie. Welcome. Welcome.
Why the best? Why the best? We number one. Number one up in the hood.
My name is Shake Sula, the mic ruler, the old schooler. You want a trip? I'll bring it to you. Fly down, down, all top, rock you like a cop. Me, rock you up next, working out now. Me, why make the money see? Me, why get the honey she? Traveling in my car, living like a star. Ice on my fingers and my toes and I'm a toys. Check it, yeah. Cause we are the Aqua Teens. Make the homie say ho and the girls wanna scream. Cause we are the Aqua Teens. Make the homie say ho and the girls wanna scream. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Number one in the hood, G.
My life.
Hello, Crips Lattes. Hi, I'm Cream Lattes. Cream Lattes with a Crips Lattes. Really delicious.
Stigmas of Australia. I say that this goofy air government have been capping. Not just now, but for a long time. They're capaholics. They're also yapaholics. Just put the fries in the bag, lil bro. They must have brain rot from watching too much Kai Cenat and forgot about their plans to ban social media for kids under 14. If that becomes law, you can forgo skull emoji all about watching Duke Dennis or catching a dub with the bros on Fort. Chat, is this Prime Minister serious?
Full psychological recovery, 6 months.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Hey, good job.
Retard!
Hope this interaction doesn't lead to any kind of fallout between us. Fallout New Vegas.
I am an incel, nigga! I don't know how else to say it to you. All of my hobbies, 5 women on earth like. How many times do I have to cut it to you, bro? I don't know how to say it. I like Barotrauma. I like Crusader Kings. I like shit ain't no woman ever heard of. I don't know how many ways I need to fucking articulate this. I got no fucking riz unless you have autism.
I smell marijuana.
I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard.
Because I'm always 10 steps ahead of you, bitch ass nigga. My mama raised a beast, not a pussy. Your mother raised a pussy. Your mother raised a pussy. My mama raised a beast, bitch nigga. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, pussy. Shut the fuck up. You're calling me, by the way.
You take a witch's wand! How dare you defy your masters! Dobby has no master. Master gave Dobby a Glock, now I'm back on the block and I weren't gonna speak, but I'm coming for Lucius' head, got one in the as vaulting grinders. Can't put me on the shelf, I'm a little man, but I stand tall at 3 foot. You'll get a punch in the jaw, and then Ringo floored on the court, and then drop that cake on the floor, and then Bobby is going in raw. Golden stitches, get stitches, watch out if I tamper this bludger. Kinky winky, she wants to slinky, all 9 inch 3/4. This elf is bad for your health, I'm moving with stealth and the tide is blonde. This Kenten Gilly got man sauce for stone when I hit that bone. I'll rinse your girl, put her under a spell, no Phoenix finish, just a one. I'll put my chocolate toad in the hole and I ain't talking about fun. This ain't no fucking joke like Zonko, run a man down straight back to his condo, kicking the dumbo door like Rambo, right he'll go like a fucking Bronco. Blow off the roof of the gas bombardo, ship a man without a blade, it's in, don't leave his girl all days, come bundo, right up the street like Kingston Dio. Nick your litters and seal that gateway, can't take man for a muggle. If I pull out the sword off, man say,
Yeah, we are in trouble.
goes on tap when I finger snap, hello shut out when I tap that back. Back to the manor and cap, this stack suck on this house bar, feel them too.
This mustn't register on an emotional level. First, discombobulate. Dazed, discombobulate. Distract target. Discombobulate. Block his blind jab. Discombobulate. He'll attempt wild haymaker. Discombobulate. In summary, discombobulate.
Crisp, I need you in here now. Crisp! Crisp is in the chat right now. He could literally give us drama, but he will not join the chat.
Ah, I see.
La 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 la. Ra ra ra.
Kleister, shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Hey, good job.
Retard!
He can't
Yeah,
help
this is the
it,
last
man.
pizza
He
box.
can't help it.
Last one. Send me $100 fucking dollars. Send it on through.
Try not to headbang challenge. Level impossible.
Art thou mad, brother?
Hey yo, this bitch needs some drums.
You used to work for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Me? No.
I was in disguise.
Oh, Dr. Lensman.
I recognize this assassin. Who hired you to kill me?
Not now. Suicidal.
No shit, we're gonna get.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
No shit, we're gonna get.
I'll just put out a video that explains all of it. And now
I've literally never had people ask repeatedly questions about
yeah, it's because you're a boring who just covers other people's drama. You cover the content, you aren't the content.
That's okay.
My goal in life is to blow up and pretend like I don't know Darius. Chris Lettuce, you're funny.
He said he's entering beast mode. That's what he needs to do.
He's entering beast mode. This is fun.
He's in beast
Hi,
mode.
Crispy.
Be careful.
Yeah, boy. This is the essence of man. They try to find a monster, a freak, and instead they find crisp lettuce. And I become a vestibule for their self-loathing, for their self-hate. The more confidence I have, therefore, builds their faith in their delusions. It's directly proportional.
Will the darkness fall upon me when the air is
Then they become fat, lazy, weak, unable to handle the crushing gravity of the void that I exist in. And I wear that like a skin that I cannot shake off. Put me in the fucking gladiatorial arena, hurry up. When is time travel going to be invented? unmuted. Shut up, Tyska. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Hey, good job.
Retard.
Hello, it's me, cream lattes. That's good. Beer creamy lattes. Put cream in everything. Hello, Stinky Cake Pete. Waka waka. Welcome.
Why the best? Why the best? We number one. Number one up in the hood. My life.
Hello, Crips Lattes. Hi, I'm Cream Lattes. Cream Lattes with the Crips Lattes. Really delicious.
Sigmas of Australia, I say that this goofy air government have been capping. Not just now, but for a long time. They're capaholics. They're also yapaholics. Just put the fries in the bag, lil bro. They must have brain rot from watching too much Kai Cenat and forgot about their plans to ban social media for kids under 14. If that becomes law, you can forgo skull emoji all about watching Duke Dennis or catching a dub with the bros on Fort. Chat, is this Prime Minister serious?
Full psychological recovery, 6 months.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Hey, good job.
Retard.
Hope this interaction doesn't lead to any kind of fallout between us. Fallout New Vegas.
I am an incel, nigga! I don't know how else to say it to you. All of my hobbies, 5 women on Earth, like, how many times do I have to cut it to you, bro? I don't know how to say it. I like Barrow Trauma. I like Crusader Kings. I like shit ain't no woman ever heard of. I don't know how many ways I need to fucking articulate this. I got no fucking wrist unless you have autism.
I smell marijuana.
What you be, what
I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard.
Because I'm always 10 steps ahead of you.
Hello, chat. Hello. I'm just in a call with Pumpernickel at the moment, setting things up. I'm gonna play some Noiter, and I'm just still setting up a few things for later on in the stream. You guys enjoying this run? Because got my ass kicked. Anyway, I'll be right back. Just bear with me while I do some stuff behind the scenes. Oh, alright, hello chat. But it's a little bit stressful, a little bit nervous. Ooh, just let out a big breath. Just relax. What did we get? 40 gold? Fuck me, dude. At least I got the pacifist run. Ugh. Did not get much. Oh my, and there's some sick ones here. Jesus. Oh, 2.9. Okay, not sick. Dude, always cast mana is insane, dude. Maybe I just fill this up with lasers. That flame skull fucked me up. I honestly thought I could just pour water on him, but it didn't seem to do any damage. And then because I was like yapping and distracted, I missed all my tablet throws. That's crazy. Extra knockback on spells. I think we'll take it because I've never taken it before. What have we got as far as spells and wands? Actually nothing. What can we afford? 180, half price for this is really good. Do we waste our money on this? Like, hypothetically, the Lumi drill takes off. DJ Dinky, welcome in, dude. Yeah, I just spent like an hour like talking to Pumpernickel about our thing later. I think it might have been a little bit over. Okay. Dude, I just feel fucked up. So much pressure. So much pressure all of a sudden. But I'm happy to be here, just like chilling out playing Neuter. I think I might have been overthinking. What do we want to get here? Maybe I can always use my water spout to fly back into that holy mountain, I think. I don't need to like TP back in or dig back in. I do definitely want to go back and grab some of those spells. That's kind of okay. Read on this one, it's ours. wondering if I just push on ahead. You have what just mentioned? Oh, Richie's voice. Like what, man? Oh, Richie's man. Richie voice. Richie did send me a supportive message yesterday, which was nice. Just got to get in that positive, pumped up mindset, you know? We're going to kill it today, we're going to do it. Everybody loves me, everyone wants to see me happy. Let's go. And he always casts, oh my goodness, with a valid target appears somewhere in the proximity of a projectile. The projectile will teleport right on top of the target. So this is like a super interesting one. Like if I have the spores, you know, like on a trigger, the little spores when they come out of the trigger, if they have this on it, will instantly teleport on top of enemies. It's actually super nice. It looked like the minecart sent that little dude flying, but I think he turned around and attacked the Hisi. Yeah, he did. He's trying to fight the Hisi for some reason. You can just pour water on those bees to kill them. Ow, my face. Ouch. Just headbutted. An explosive barrel. My god, everything reminds me of Rhea right now. He always laughed when I, you know, shot an explosive barrel at point blank range and killed myself. Everything reminds me of her. Ah! You know what? I'm right next to... Jesus, this guy is... Oh my god, this is actually a fucked up situation. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, oh, we escaped. Dude, it is insane how... Noita seems so chill. And you just gotta really acknowledge, like, hold on a second, I am in a real bad... This fucking TP, dude, was literally about to ping me, like, off into the abyssal hells of World. Okay, I think we go in here and we just try to find, like, a solid non-shuffle one. And then hopefully we can head back to this barrel nice and close. Yeah, perfect. Oh! I'm making a huge mistake right now. I'm literally about to die to most retarded little dudes. Need to run. No TP1. No way out. There's no way out. The mines of Moria. The Moiki. Oh. Yeah, I haven't heard back from Erudite. I could pop into her server and see what everyone's up to in there. Looks like she's in like an oiler call or something, but like, the server's very busy. So this could be like huge for me. You know, she seems pretty popular, pretty cool. Be talking to her. And it's important that I like do a good job hosting. So that she wants to come back on and whatnot, you know. And can I just join this? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I can. I'm in there right now. Big Nick. Okay, Erudite's actually left the room, which does mean she's at her computer, which is good. Wondering if I should ask these dudes what they're up to, or like how's it going, but it feels weird being in here and being live and not letting them know yet. Oh wait, it says Erudite is in the voice channel. There's a bunch of people in a bunch of different voice channels. She is no, she's been auto moved down to the AFK room 15 minutes ago. Oh, I guess I should ask Nick. He's up to. It's awesome. They're playing the Dune video game. Oh, hey guys, it's me, Chris Plettis. What's going on? Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering if Erudite was going live today. Short, I haven't know. Okay. Yeah, I just saw she was in. Well, he's pretty supportive of Chris Plettis. Yeah. I'm doing a stream with her today, so I was checking in. Yeah. But I think it is. Actually, normally she starts streaming in like 10-15 minutes from now. So yeah, I was just checking in to see if she was starting up. Okay. Yeah, is it really good? Yeah, that's what I heard. It is amazing. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, not too sure what's going on. Um, yeah, maybe we won't fully get around to doing it today. Hey, look, one good thing happened. We got extra knockback on our spells. I wonder if I could have abused that, or, you know, used that to, like, push my way out of this area. Like, those melee enemies could have got dunked on, right? Let me refill my water bottle, and maybe I should double up on the coffee. Double coffee day? That could be kind of sick, right? Richie's laughing, Moon Tyrant's laugh. Richie has a wholesome chuckle. Moon Tyrant has a evil cackle, dude. Both fulfilling very distinct and key roles. Yeah, let me grab that water. Just imagine Richie listening to your worries and caring about you. Holding you in his great big arms. Dude, it's an awful world. I'm glad Richie's in it. Hey, good morning, watching Juma, Moon Moon, and listening to Richie. Solid combo. They're all quite different from each other. Juma seems like a good lad, though, right? Pretty high energy, but I don't think he's ever had anything too weird going on, which is good. You know, start to appreciate people who were around in the scenes for a long time and have just been like solid. In fact, I really appreciate it. And they deserve the appreciation because, like, if they're just consistent, there's not going to be a point where you're like, wow, like, you know, you get all the things you deserve for being like so consistent because it's like it's just consistent, you know. You gotta let them know. Has Erudite joined my server? Let me check. And if she has, I can give her at Erudite. Not so Erudite. Nah, nothing there. That's Steve. Steve is notable. Oh, she just got back to me. Hey, just wait, I probably shouldn't just read this out loud. She's here. She's here, chat. Let's go. I just know that you're a Discord person, so not super comfortable. Maybe I should pull Pumpernickel back in and talk to him. Is 5 minutes. I should probably just sit up. No time for more Noita, unfortunately. I love Noita though. I love Noita. I got dunked on playing Noita just now though. That felt like that felt like the first time I played or something. It felt like me playing Noita unmedicated from a year ago. Get your head in the game, Crisp. Get your head in the game. What do we want? We want like a not so erudite. We want her stream up. God, she better go live. So you know, I want it to be seen by people, and no offense, chat, but there's not a whole lot of you. I mean, I don't know if how can that even be. Sorry, chat. You should be more people. You personally should be 10 people, each of you. I need 10 more of you. What a relief that she's on board, though. No, we want... I think we want this one. Boom, 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 boom. And I wonder if I can, like, just copy this scene, duplicate. Yeah, duplicate this scene. And then now I can do things like this. Where... Move myself around. Ba-dum, 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 da-dum. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Your stuff's up. Sure. And then let's post a message in Gen chat. Why is that so quiet? Was I muted?
Well done.
Shut up, Tyska! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Yo, thank you, Pumpernickel. Get a pizza on me. Thanks for the sub, dude. Let's go. Let's go! We're doing it. It's real. The One Piece is real.
Where are you headed? You're self-found. I have to dig bed. For who? People need to sleep in the ground. Have you dug yourself a bed yet? People I put there.
Ah, shit. Dude, why is this Nokia thing always showing up? Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, you guys can't even see it. My bad. That was Moon Moon, by the way. Welcome to the jungle, chat. So much utility, functionality, strength, ability, power. This phone had momentum, dude. And that is the essence of jungle. Wait, that's the Nokia 7250? Nokia 3350. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I have one of these. Yeah, I had one of these, dude. I would text so goddamn fast on it. And I cut out a case, so I had like a purple one with like one of those little monkeys, like a trooper little monkey. So yeah, when I was like a young teenager, not even really a teenager, this is the phone I had. Play Snake on it, record stuff. I had a Metallica thing. Whenever someone would text me, and it'd be like, you know, obviously I would get a lot of texts from my girlfriend and shit. That was the play back then. You pay like $20, you get like unlimited texts a month. What a terrible fucking deal, but it was good at the time. And it was simple, you know, back in the day. Just like the simple way to get it done. It was easy. Didn't know how good we had it. Dun, 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 dun. Fully like Erudite's like, oh, like I know you're like a justical person. I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck about I don't give a fuck about whatever they say. And then I'm like, sorry about the language. I don't like the soy takes, dude. Don't care. Not my life. Don't have to worry about it. You know what? I might get like a lettuce on screen, just in case I want to cam down. Although it's definitely better to be cammed up, right? Pumpernickel will be cammed down, but Member, oh my god, there's so many Bernard rooms. Members joining, members mute, unmute. New members, Erudite, user joins, Erudite, add role, notable. I might feel free to take your time to like go live, do a segment, build up your audience. Happy face, smiley face. Might feel free. I don't know if she is going to go live though, because it seems like it's like kind of on the spot for her. You know, I'm super interested in the conversation though, so I'm real glad to be finally having it. I'm super interested in the conversation though, so. ADHD or parents, Russell Barkley. I was thinking about watching this today, but like we would have had to start watching like 3 hours ago. But after this conversation, I'll probably grab something to eat, and then we'll like chill out and watch the whole thing. If you join the ADHD, Miko, or revoke your island visa. Oh, ADHD defines me. It definitely doesn't define me. It definitely turns some people into helpless, retarded babies, but like, I go a lot harder. It's good to see you here, ZZ. Honestly, I feel like you're too good for me and this space. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Erudite should be on like real soon. She seems like an eager beaver. So that's good. He's like, I kind of just generally like it, like when you're hanging out with someone, or like you're not even hanging out, just like seeing someone who's just like, they're doing all their homework, making their titles looking good, they got nice handwriting, you know, they're just like clued in, bogged on. I'm a real tryhard, to be honest. It's a little bit like, I'm a big unit, I'm a great big man, right? And when I see like another great big man who makes me feel small, not small, like normal, you know? Boom, 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 boom. You might want to add Storation, you look monochrome. I appreciate that, dude. Why not, eh? Could always use a few more improvements. Dude, I could add some broccoli to my face right now. I could go for a delicious broccoli. Let me go see if I've got any, actually. A little bit more color intensity. Does my skin look good, chat? I got some, like, compliments on it, but, like... But I don't know. Let's go see about that broccoli. Ooh. You guys been horse dancing today? Hopefully you do some. Most powerful dance. Loosen it up. Oh, dude, my foot is actually broken. It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks of broken foot, chat. I'm gonna take 30 seconds. Why you gotta call me? You mean call you out? Oh, you mean make it okay? Monochrome highlights the soul. Literally Disco Elysiumed out. The monochrome represents the amnesia that I try to fill my life with through alcoholism and trying to, you know, and a drive to forget my ex-wife. I just locked myself out of my room. It would be a nightmare. I had my keys up. You like that, chat? Look at it, we truly do live in a future. Hunger is like a dot, just constantly ticking away on my health bar. I literally have this little quinoa tuna health potion right here, just pumping it up. Discord hit me with that vampirism debuff. Straight up, oh. That's quite hot. Oh shit, are they both in the waiting room? Let's go. Yeah, people are pumped for it. That's awesome. I should really go. Put something else out real quick before this gets started, just to make sure no one comes in and bothers me and cuts me off halfway through. 1 second, chat. Hold tight. Tell your friends. Erudite. I'm on stream. It's cool, it's cool. And she's live too. Hell yeah. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feed. Yeah, probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right?
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop. So I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting with the old well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700. Brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
Hello, hello. Hi guys, how's it going?
Oh,
Hope you're doing
hello.
well.
Woohoo!
I love
All
the
right, Chris, don't
collection
get
of, like,
nervous.
bumbling retards.
He's just a nice lady.
Who start out at the stream. If you don't like me, why are you here? You might think I'm like a loser, pathetic, or anything. There's something so.
Bro, imagine being a goddamn meat watcher, dude. I don't get it. I cannot join for more than 5 minutes to watch someone who I just generally find distasteful. That gal school who was on Just School's Discord, dude, could not sit in a conversation with her for too long. The absolute vain, virtue signaling, narrow-minded, Hassan tier bullshit that I got from that girl made her like. I'm not trying to say this is like an ad hom. I'm just saying, like, I am literally repulsed. Like a magnet being pushed away. If I have any free power left in my body, it's just clicking the leave button when that kind of person is around. And it's the same, like, if I had to watch a Hassan stream. It would be because of something which is outside of my control. If I have, like, the ability to do it, I'm out of here, dude. On the other hand, Nicholas DiOrio, I'll meat watch that guy all the time. Fuck that guy. What's up, Pumpkin? Hello. Yeah. Dun dun dun. I want to make your little dude jiggle when he talks though, so people can get some visual identifiers on that. But yeah, that's all good. Erudite went live, which is like super cool. She's been all good in the DMs.
Oh, that's cool.
That's all good. Say hi to Pumpernickel chat. DJ Dinkus' big papa pumper. Big dog. Big dinky. Big dinky drizzle drizzle in the chat. We had a few extra people in here to come hang out and watch, which is nice too. So it'd be great. I just told her to take her time and like if she wants to do like a segment or something, she totally can. Names, image spacing, bounce effect, crossfade. Oh yeah, that all works good. I wonder let's bring the latest on. I should build you your own little overlay that makes it look like your clown is like sitting in a Discord room. I'm sure me and Erudite will both be cammed up. Be quite nice.
I love Top Bronson for this new avatar as well, though. I liked my old black and white one, but
He well, I asked him to build me one that looked kind of like Alexander the Great and stuff, and he ended up creating the model that made these ones that you're using like now. as he was trying to do it. Then they all came out like these like Greek god kind of things, but it's sort of like that Hades game, like it's so stylized in such a cool way.
Yeah.
He did some real good ones. My detective, I wanted a detective too, so he's got some really nice Disco Elysium style ones. Sorry, chat. I'm just sitting here eating. Hope you're enjoying the mukbang. What else do I have to set up here? Can you just give me a little mic test, Pumpernickel?
Test, test, test. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, that's perfect. Just matching it up so we both got the same levels, and I'm not louder and you're not quieter, and
chat
vice versa.
Chat hear me well? Are they okay?
Yeah. Can someone in chat give us a rating scale of how good Pumpernickel is as a person? Sprunga says, can you ask her about why therapy is important for individuals getting ADHD and not just taking medication? I'm wondering if ADHD individuals benefit on average from therapy to repair the perceptions or core beliefs or something. I mean, as far as like repairing their perception and self-belief, yeah, there are pretty significant and really, really common comorbidities to ADHD where it's like you're going to end up feeling a certain way about yourself and like the world. And this can happen like whether or not you're accepting of the fact that you have ADHD. It must be so much worse if you are like a repressed homosexual of ADHD, right? Where you're like, I cannot have ADHD. No one in my family will ever have ADHD throughout history. My son told me he was ADHD. I'd beat his ass. I'd beat it out of him. It's so fucked up. I'm just thinking of American Beauty that whole time. ADHD walked up and gave you a big kiss. What would you do? What if one day you kissed an ADHD and then it rejected you? Would you have to I can't say this shit on stream, but I might as well just show the American Beauty clip. What's the main character's name? Fuck, I should remember that. Let's just type murder into YouTube. But yeah, I'll definitely ask her about that, Pumpernickel. We're gonna have a lot of time. She actually asked me if she could ask some questions as well in the DMs.
Yeah, she seems super interested in the conversation, so I'm optimistic.
Yeah, me too. And I just watched like a little bit of her intro, and she's like, seems like pepped up, which is nice too. And I think she's a streamer, right? Like she's gonna be well spoken, having a good time, have her whole like thing going on. So it's glad to see her. Like, I mean, it's just awesome. It's very awesome having her on. Kissing scene. Gay kissing scene? Is that what I want on my algorithm? The Colonel's kiss. There we go. That is what I want on my algorithm, dude. I want that goddamn theater. Let me actually set this up so you can have a live feed as well, Pumpernickel, of just what I'm doing. You don't have to watch, but like, you just get a vibe. Where I'm at. I'm spasmodically clicking away on in the background.
Yeah, I always like watch the stream a little bit on mute, just to see what's going on.
I love my lurkers.
Probably out fucking that dorky
No,
piece of real
no,
estate
because
asshole.
I'm in the voice channel with you.
Oh, true.
When I watch you, I listen to you. I wouldn't do you like that.
Oh, true.
Probably out fucking that dorky prince of real estate asshole.
Dude, this is such a crazy movie. Kevin Spacey's such a good subtle actor. I mean, both of these guys are, to be honest. There's so much subtext here that this dude thinks, you know, he's trying to deal with his own like homosexuality, and then Kevin Spacey's just stoned as fuck, like laughing about like his what, like, because there's no way that this detective could even rationalize the amount of like mental freedom that Kevin Spacey gains over this movie. Obviously, he's got a lot of flaws, and so it all comes out in a weird way. But at this point, you know, Mr. Kevin Spacey is like reliving his youth. He doesn't really care about his wife cheating on him, and in a way, he's almost like, yeah, whatever, she's a cunt, and good for her for going out and finding what she likes. Like, I'm gonna go do the same thing. And to this detective, he's just like, oh, it's a fake marriage because everyone is a repressed homosexual, just like me. But that's bad. And he's just in his own little delusion, dude. So yeah, I would say if you had this, but for ADHD, if you were this colonel for ADHD, get therapy. Don't go kiss your neighbor and then blow his brains out if he rejects you.
And you know what?
That's sorry. That's my medical. That's I'm not I'm not a doctor or something. You know what I mean, Jack? Oh, that's super interesting, Stronger.
Your wife is with another man and you don't care?
Nope. Our marriage is just for show. A commercial for how normal we are when we're anything but. Jeez, man, you are shaky. We really ought to get you out of these clothes.
Yeah.
It's okay. You just tell me what you need. Whoa.
But he's so stoned in there.
I'm sorry.
He's like, oh.
You got the wrong idea.
So funny. The Colonel thinks he's just acting a little bit soft and feminine, but really he's just baked out of his mind. And very, very chill. Dude, the mind of a incredibly conservative, restricted, mentally repressed Colonel must be a weird thing to be in. Holy moly. Sick movie. I don't want to watch some more movies recently. I recently found out that Outsiders had I loved the book. I didn't realize there was like this old ass movie with like young Tom Cruise. Like, is this his first movie or something? Far out, Brussels sprout. The book on this was sick. I get that people might think it's soy or whatever, but like, hey, golden pony boy. Sorry, let me finish that sentence. I get people might think it's soy, but the people who think that are wrong actually don't know how to read. You need to sort their lives out. You like horror when evil lurks and incantation are pretty good. I mean, I like some horror. I like all kinds of things. Definitely loved horror as like a teenager. On some level, I felt like I'd seen it all. Oh my god. If it delivers that gore and violence, I am a discerning horror fan. But the house that Jack built, probably one of the better horror movies I've watched in a long time. Honestly, the hunting scene with that lady and her kids is probably one of the craziest fucking things I've seen in my life. In my entire life. As an actor, I feel like that guy is. You know when people like think you are the character, like Joffrey? One of my favorite movies I conducted for DGG, or I didn't conduct it actually. I just convinced another streamer to conduct it, to play it, I think. Was this one. It's called The Midnight Meat Train. It's based on, so a lot of people like Stephen King, but as a kid I was a bit oldie. I liked this guy called Clive Barker, who wrote Hellraiser. But the Hellraiser films are Clive Barker, but this is another like Clive Barker story.
City. Because no one's ever captured it. Not the way it really is. That's
this movie is so funny.
Then you're failing. The next time you find yourself at the heart of the city, stay put.
It's got that perfect level of camp to it.
It began
But like sick
with a
actors,
photograph.
you know? A weird like B film. A-tier actors.
Of unthinkable evil.
What happened?
I saw it.
Take your pictures to the cops.
I wasn't stalking her.
But you did continue to photograph.
These represent missing people for the last 3 years.
The only way to make it stop.
I followed them into the subway. He butchers them like cattle. They never find the remains because he unloads the meat somewhere.
Is to go for the ride.
I got a train to catch.
Is that Rampage Jackson? It is Rampage Jackson. I forgot he's in this, bro. Oh my god, dude. Rampage Jackson. You know he fights someone. Jackson fight scene. Yeah, Rampage Jackson vs Vinnie Jones. Spoiler alert: Vinnie Jones is the main villain, but he's a supernatural villain, dude. He's the agent on the meat train. Welcome to Crisp's Meat Train, dude. Rampage is so cool, dude. Seems like a good dad. I saw some stuff with him and his dad recently. It's him and his son, sorry. His son's a big unit too.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper was in all kinds of stuff. His comedic sort of turn is a funny one. He could have been like a good action star or something. But he's essentially like a, in a lot of the movies, he's like an actor. He's not like an action star, he's not like a comedian, he's not like this or that. He's like playing the character.
It's supposed to be a local.
Rampage Jackson just is a character, you know? Wait, is there no fight scene? Is he just dead? Okay. Ah! Alright, this is just gratuitous. We're not here for that.
I'm showing that hammer up your ass.
Actually, maybe we are. New soundbite for the stream.
I'm showing that hammer up your ass.
Me talking to Tysker about his woodworking. I heard you like hammers. If you guys know, if you know, you know. That's a classic one. Whoa, Frank Castle commented on this. Wait, what can you guys see right now? You guys see rain, or do you see the Nokia goo? OBS like bugs out in such a weird way. You see the rain? Right, right. See, it tells me that you can only see the rain, but what you should be able to see is the girl. And I'm looking at like my studio mode, and in my studio mode you can see the girl. But for some reason it's not showing it in your mode. I don't know if that makes sense. Essentially you should have been able to see the girl there. It's all good. Now that I know what is going through, I can just like work with that. So it doesn't matter. We work with what we got. You wake up in the morning. Your legs have been cut off. Good. Less weight to carry around for the rest of the day. Your Sisyphus. You drop your stone. Will it go to the bottom of the hill? Well, only if you could be so lucky. The bottom of the hill is the easiest part. You fail your exam? Good. Now you know what to focus on. Chat. There's an Iranian man sitting hunkered over some prototype nuclear bomb. Just waiting, rocking back and forth. And all he wants to do is stop you and your family from learning about ADHD. But you lock in. You're here right now. Come and hang out on Chris Blitus' stream and get that done. Let's have a look at what Erudite's up to. Just learn a thing or two about being a decent streamer.
Relationship. Nick is a gifting god.
I talked to Nick today. He's
Yeah,
chilling
which
playing
is the
Dune.
worst,
There's like a new Dune game they
especially
love.
for like holidays and stuff, because I'm so bad at gifting. I'm so bad. Every now
I wonder
and
if
then
I'm-
I'll hit it out of the park. Okay, every now and then I come up with a genius gift, but not usually. Whereas Nick, just like every time, he's got ideas.
Is there anything we want to talk about before we get her in here,
two,
Pumpernickel?
I don't know.
Or should I just invite her on in?
I wouldn't if I had to. If I was like in a
We can if you want to. Like,
for date 2 to win.
if there's anything you want to go over before.
No, I think it's all good.
Like,
I was
thoughts
just double
that you
checking
have?
to.
You don't want to get her something
Um,
expensive because that would be a little try hard. But you all like, okay, guys.
Let me have a quick look at my
pretend this is a
notes.
date- Pretend this is a game show, okay? And you have to make her select.
I mean, there's so many like
that seems appropriate for date 2.
questions that I'm like interested in
This
to
is
see
a
how
game
it like
show,
builds
okay?
off of.
And let's say she doesn't know this is a game show. We
You know,
know that we're
like,
in the game show.
is
Okay,
her
we're behind-
idea of
there's-
ADHD
there's,
going to
you know,
line up
people behind a hidden wall and
with
speaking into her
what I've
ears
been
and
thinking
going,
of it?
"To win
So I'm
this-"
totally open to be like she is like an authority in this compared to me. So,
Sure.
yeah, I'm just
and
like really looking.
I was
forward
looking
to
a
it.
little bit at a Twitch chat, and her audience seemed pretty interested in the subject, and
Okay.
seemed to have like interesting questions around it as well. So
Okay. Okay. So she's on Twitch and Kick. Nice. So Erudite. I never know where to look. I'm actually. I was meant to. I was meant to. Imro gave me a stream key yesterday, and I was gonna stream up and pretend to do like a fake Ebro stream. And I don't know why the stream key like didn't work, but I just spent ages like trying to find where it was meant to be live. So I'm like looking through. He's got like 3 different YouTube channels. He's got like a Twitch one, but like he doesn't use it. He just streams on like YouTube and stuff. And I had no idea where to look, but it turned out it was bugged or something. I don't know, but it just didn't let me go live on his channel. That's kind of why I didn't stream much yesterday, because I put a whole lot of effort into doing that, and it just didn't work out.
You've been a streaming monster recently, the last few months.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really good that I have like the graphs and stuff, because it's a little bit like with the gym as well. I'm like, oh, like I feel tired, but like I don't feel like I've worked out hard enough. I don't feel like I've streamed hard enough. Like I could always be streaming right now, and then I look and it's like, dude, you did like 60 hours this week of streaming, and I was like editing and doing this and that like off stream, and I don't know, in my back of my brain I'm just like, you haven't even been trying, Crispy. You fucking retard.
I don't know how you do it. Yeah, I did like 1 or 2 streams that had like 5 viewers, and I that was done. I couldn't.
Yeah. It's a little bit like Tinder when you don't get a match. It's actually such a mindfuck, bro. But yeah, I love my lurkers. For years, I just didn't have any. Let me take my hoodie off. This is actually so.
Yeah, I always get matches on Tinder. I didn't get that analogy.
Do what?
Oh shit, there's a guy in a chat called Crispy Taco 69. He's like a facsimile of me.
Buy an expensive wine, put it in a homebrewed wine bottle, and tell her you made it. Yeah, but again, the homebrewing has the high risk of her wondering like what the fuck you put in it. That could be a bad idea.
1 or 2 questions. Yeah, feel free to put them through, Sprungus, and if I don't like read it or respond, or if like a part of the conversation, like put them through now, and you know, just like spam the chat, or don't spam it in a way that'll get you kicked out, or like, you know, for like repeated messages or too long messages or anything like that. But just interact with the stream as much as you want, and if you need to get my attention or you have like anything that you want to say during the stream, that is what Kick and Twitch are built for. You guys get to be in this as much as you want, which is pretty cool. Like 2 legs here, you know, with his comment, wake up, shit my bed, walk into the kitchen, throw diaper at the wall, good. Now you have an opportunity for cleaning and improving your life. Wake up standing in a 2x1 box, sleeping on a hard wooden floor. If you're lucky, you get to lie down while you sleep. I'm Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink. Meme Marino. Alright, I sent her a message saying, let ready when you are. So
yeah, I had to. I just turned the stream off because it was distracting me, and I wasn't feeling like I was being present. So I was just like looking.
And the moment,
Sprungus, yeah. If you have questions, I'm happy to like answer quickly anything small. If it's like a really big, interesting question, though, I'll probably save the answer for like the actual conversation because it will be more interesting, I think.
Nice. I just turned the sound on and it's just Jocko being like, fire ants in my diaper to keep me going.
Gargle piss. Uncomfortable?
Gargle piss.
Good. Listen to 5 self-improvement podcasts at once as you drag a tire to work. Fire ants in a diaper to keep you going. Ex-wife calls. Says you can't visit the kids this weekend.
Jocko Willink on with Akira the Don is one of the Akira the Don goated songs, to be honest. Akira the Don was really like a fundamental part of my late 2010s. You know, hitting that Joe Rogan podcast, getting that Goggins, getting that Alan Watts, just meditating out, smoking a dart down by the river, then doing 500 press-ups. Because I'm living the good life. I like to enjoy myself and treat my body as a temple. Everyone's got to have their vices, and when you're almost as perfect as I am, you got to take up smoking or something just to keep you grounded, so I can relate to the other people that do suffer from the hardships of this world. You know what I mean, chat? You should know what I mean. Oh my god.
Okay. Yes.
We got so many songs lined up. Oh my, I shouldn't even be, I'm skipping through them, but maybe I should just link a little bit of music while we wait. It's probably what we're after, right? The meaning wave. Are you guys meaning coded? Are you purpose maxing chat?
If you came here looking for that, you won't find it.
Are you foundation pilled chat?
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there.
Are you grind coded?
Take the easy road. It won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better.
I'm purpose maxing.
To reach goals and overcome obstacles and be the best version of you possible will not happen by itself.
That's right, I'm synchronicity pilled chat.
Taking shortcuts or looking for the easy way. There is no easy way. There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. Discipline. There must be discipline. 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 There must be discipline. Discipline. Discipline.
Dude, my foot is legitimately broken. I can't be jumping around like that. I smashed my foot 3 weeks ago doing handstands walking around my room. Not healed. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was broken. It didn't hurt that much. Then again, I might have been underselling it, because when I did it, I checked to make sure my toes weren't like hanging off. So it hurt enough for me to be like, oh, I should quickly check and make sure I don't have a compound break where my sharp bones are sticking through my foot. And I check and it looks fine. And then I'm like, I'm sure it's not broken. I start walking on it, I was limping for a few days and I went for a walk yesterday. Actually, I went for a jog last week. But it's still very swollen and very fucked up. I am Jocko filled as fuck like that though.
What's the hack?
Just push through it.
How do you become stronger, smarter, faster, healthier? How do you become better? How do you achieve true freedom? There is only one way.
Jocko is surprisingly well-rounded. Like, he will give amazing advice on making friends, you know, engaging in education or hobbies or like life goals. And then his like primary focus is helping soldiers on the battlefield, not just in like the exercising of like reloading the rifle quickly and like formations and drills, but in finding the willpower, the means, and the motivation and the encouragement to like be there, live that life, deal with the locals, and do so in a way where you're like a role model, a guide, someone who people just like naturally look up to, you know, while you're defending or invading like another country. Fucking the most intense situation ever. Maybe it shouldn't be surprising that like I've heard some really good advice from this dude, but yeah, it's not all just like self-help, motivational, blah blah blah. Because often these self-help people, they don't really say much. They just say the same thing in different ways. That's like motivational. I think Jocko, surprisingly, like his friendship advice and finding purpose and all of that is actually good content. I don't mean to like glaze him, and it doesn't mean I'm like super into Joe Rogan or like any sort of like this or that. I'm just saying, sometimes I listen to a person talk and I hear a good conversation from them.
I actually have a fairly simple
We'll listen to
way
good.
of dealing with these situations. It is actually one word to deal with all those situations. And that is good. And this is actually something that one of my guys that worked for me pointed out to me.
You over so you're looking at the right
He would
thing.
call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. One day he was telling me about some issue that he was having. He said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good.
I'm fucking up.
You're going to say good. You're going to say good. You're going to say good. 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 You're going to say good. You're going to say good. You're going to say good. Good. So that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad.
Dude, I'm literally sitting here thinking, I could be coding. I could be editing. I could be doing press-ups. You know what? It's good. And I'm just sitting here waiting, meditating, planning things out.
There's gonna be some good that's gonna come from it. Oh, mission got canceled?
How about you, chat?
Good.
What's good in your life?
Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. We can keep it simple. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Didn't get funded? Good. We own more of the company. Didn't get the job you wanted? Good. You can get more experience and build a better resume. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good.
Good. Good.
Good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. Good. Got injured. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Good. Needed a break from training. Got tapped out. Good. It's better to tap in training than to tap out on the street. Got beat. Good. You learned.
Okay, we're back. Fuck. Can you hear me, Pumpernickel? Did my Discord cut out as well? Such a rip, dude. Oh, Pumpernickel's muted. Good. Oh, we're back. We're back. I can see the bit right. I'm glad that was short. I'm vibing right now. You know what? Stream died? Good. Good, because I need... We just keep it simple. The stream died. It's more difficult than it looks. Hey, good all the time.
I don't mean to say something that's all cliche. I don't mean to sound like Mr. Positive. Find the positive, but do that. Focus on the good. Focus on the good. Take that issue, take that problem, take that issue, take that problem, and make it something good. Make it something good. And bring that attitude to your team. You go forward. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. Good. And lastly, like to close this out, if you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, go out on the attack. And that right there is about as good as it gets.
Hoggies. I was checking on Erudite. She probably isn't due to be here for like a little bit. She will do like a segment or two first. But I think she's watching something that I already reacted to on stream.
So we could cook. You wanted me to bring all my casserole, my pans, my knives, my cutlery, and I brought all that to the table. You asked for that. What are you bringing?
Do you wanna go over it again, or maybe do you wanna watch the that Peach video that you were talking about to me earlier?
Yeah, I do. It's like you read my
We can
mind.
like if she's not going to be here for like a little bit because she's doing a segment, we can just like watch something like tangentially related.
Yeah, there's this Beatty segment from
This is called Retrospect. Basically, I'm going to take a look at a take I had.
from Preach, and it was like I was wrong, and they had a big picture of Destiny in here. It's not about Destiny at all. Some of you here might think that I'm talking to Erudite. We might talk about Destiny. We're not.
In regards to the whole Destiny.
Abba had like a big mindset change on ADHD, and it is nice to see him like go through this transformation, because essentially this is like the kind of thing you want to see from a lot of people, which is kind of sad that a lot of people have to come around to it this way. But Abba's like a really good role model. And if he can do it, you know, more people can do it. Let's crack in and have a look.
Situation, I'm going to analyze it, and maybe I was wrong. You guys let me know. And one thing he said, I think he said something like, you know, that was me a couple of years back. I'm on Vyvanse now, which Vyvanse I think is like some kind of drug, ADHD, I don't know. He's like, I'm on Vyvanse now. I'm really just focused on political stuff. I want to stay away from the drama. It's like, I didn't realize they made a, you know, finding God moment for druggies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how some people do a bunch of fuck shit for their whole life, and all of a sudden they go to church once and they're like, I found God. Like it absolves all the bullshit that they've just done. I don't know. It was such a weird way. Like when you're being said that you're doing a bunch of foul shit, you've hurt a bunch of people.
She's here. Let's go. Looks like Erudite is
like,
here
mention
ready
the fact that
to
you're on
join. She's
Vyvanse,
stepping
you're
at the
a
moment,
changed
but
person. It's just like,
welcome her in
I
chat.
don't know, something about it just seemed off to me. All right.
Round of applause. One day we'll have Abra on. But it's not today. Instead, we have the lovely Erudite. That's cool as hell. Let me get her Fuji popping up. Fuji reactive, and hopefully she'll want to cam up as well. I know that makes for a wonderful interactive experience that we all love here. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Hello.
No. Welcome, Erudite. Round of applause, chat. We've made it. Let's go.
We did it.
Yeah. Let me just give you a little bit of customization on your mic to get you on the perfect level. And now you sound fantastic. Look good.
I'm so sorry about this camera quality. I don't know what is going on with it these days, but I'm
that's
gonna
all
look
good.
like a snow bunny.
It's
True snow bunny.
Okay. And a blizzard, a snow bunny and a blizzard. Well, not that bad.
It's pretty exposed. This is crazy. Are you guys turning on your cameras? What's the sitch
Yeah,
here?
for sure. I was just saying that to chat because it makes for a more interactive experience for everybody. And
Pumpernickel also. I'm gonna have to figure out.
No, Pumpernickel just stays clown mode.
Okay, sounds good. Let me.
Hello, hello. I just as you guys started talking, I overreacted and spilled a drink over my keyboard. So I'll just be 2 seconds while I clean this up.
Oh no, that's so
Sure.
tragic.
It's fine. It happens. 2 seconds. Give me just 2 seconds.
Are you guys
That's-
both Australian? I'm so bad with accents.
Oh.
I'm so sorry if I offend.
Actually,
You're
right?
not Kiwi,
Neither
are
of us
you?
are a disgusting Australian. Yeah.
No, I like
am a Kiwi.
Australians. Fuck off. Wait, you are Kiwi?
Oh, no, not a huge fan of Australians, to be honest. It's kind of a slur to even ask.
No. I know. That's why I said fuck, are you Kiwi? Because Kiwis get so offended when I say that they're Australians. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Honestly, it's just like a rivalry between us.
You're like, it's fine. I'm just gonna hate you forever, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to destroy your entire life from now on.
It happens a lot. I will
You know what?
It's just something I have to accept.
At least you have
know?
you have sheep to go, okay? You can go outside.
Yeah.
Hug a sheep. No birds
anything
though.
does
Weasels killed all those things.
Yeah, we actually don't have mammals in New Zealand that are native.
Basically.
So it's all
Yeah, I know,
birds,
'cause of weasels,
giant
more or less,
lizards,
right?
Yeah, things like cute little possums are actually like a horrible pest. They came to New Zealand and just evolved to be insane predators. So New Zealand is like a wacky Jurassic Park kind of world.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
But
doing some obscure
cool
reading
tourists.
on the birds in New Zealand 'cause
Oh,
that's a
yeah?
fun thing to read about. And it was
Oh,
talking about
yeah.
how like 90% of the bird population got decimated because weasels came across on boats and just like killed all
Yeah.
of your guys' birds. So you have like very few birds left, which is crazy.
I'm a bit of like a farm boy growing up, and it's not uncommon that you'll have like a single weasel that'll be like infiltrating your farm, and it'll be taking out like 2 or 3 chickens every night. And then you think about like the
Oh.
little kiwi bird, which is like blind and like running around on 2 legs. They've been brought back, but there was only like 4 different breeds of kiwis, and I think one of them's extinct now, and
That's crazy.
the other 3 were endangered.
How do you guys protect them? How do you guys even protect the kiwis now that you've tried to bring back? Is it just like
We put them on little islands and stuff.
okay?
There are like certain 60% of New Zealand is like alpine mountainous range. So this is why there's like only 5 million people in a country which is like the size of Texas, if not bigger.
Yeah.
Because it's like uninhabitable land, but very good for getting out there and like bushwhacking and doing the outdoor kind of thing. So
Having
there are
goats and
some Kiwis. Yeah, I mean goats are the goats are like a pest again, just like so many goats, dude. It's crazy.
More than sheep?
But
Whenever I meet
not
a
more than
Kiwi,
sheep.
they're usually okay. Yeah, most Kiwis I know are sheep farmers. Like I think I've met like 5
Mm.
now, and they're always sheep farmers.
We're the only first world country to have our primary export be in farming. We don't do tech or mining or any of that. We're like very strict on. It's actually a cool thing about New Zealand. Like billionaire could move here and be like as rich as the entire country, and he'll be like, oh, I want to like build a mansion, and people will be like, nah, you can't, get out, we don't want your money, get gone. So we just like don't really overdevelop the land or the rivers or anything like that, which makes it a nice experience to like just chill.
Yeah.
If you guys
that's
ever want to
cool.
come to New Zealand, it's a great vibe. Like a huge tourism thing as well. Like you will find
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
communities of people to like travel around New Zealand with you recreationally. I honestly think it's probably better as a tourist than it is as a Kiwi. Living here, I feel kind of handicapped from like a lack of certain opportunities, but like, you know, like I can't
Yeah,
go
no
to
kidding.
Hollywood and be an actor with the best actors in the world if that was my dream, right? Or I can't go get
Yeah,
an interview
exactly.
from Apple or something, but otherwise, I can meet heaps of wonderful European tourists, and I traveled the world when I was like 18 because I'd met people from all over the world by that point.
Is
As a kid, I used to have
immigration
like
my
Israelis come live with us and stuff. You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is immigration pretty easy in New Zealand? Like, is it easy to just stay forever?
yeah. Especially like
Yeah.
you want to come over and like buy land or something, or like you don't need to like become a citizen and then buy the land. You can like buy the land and then become a citizen because you did that, or you can, you know, easily get like any kind of visa to like stay here for 6 months, and so on and so forth.
That's crazy. Yeah, I had a friend leave from high school to New Zealand, and she's married and has like 6 kids there now.
Oh, to a Kiwi,
Just
6 kids. Oh my goodness.
yeah, they're
I
Christian,
mean, it's
so
so sick. Like you can
yeah.
drive like, I mean, you can, as a kid, I would like not even drive. I'd get on my BMX and like just BMX like 15 minutes out of town, and next minute I'm up in like the woods with like rainforests and like 100-year-old macrocarpa trees. I don't even know if there's a translation to English for what a macrocarpa tree is.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. Or like the other day, I had like one of my next door neighbors come in, and he, um, I was like talking to people about like Indigenous New Zealand culture and stuff, and I was like, a lot of
Yeah.
people get angry at me for being like too white talking about it, and he just starts like spitballing all this stuff in Maori, because a lot of Maoris are like white people. So like there's this whole different like cultural thing. Basically what I'm trying to say with that is that the intertwining like cultures of New Zealand are something that like most people can't even really like understand or comprehend. You got to really like set aside
Yeah.
any of your preconceptions of what you think. Although in the news you will see some crazy political stuff with the Pukanas in
Really?
Parliament. This is a Pukana chat. That's the Pukana. The current
'Cause they're
government
doing
is
Maori
pretty
stuff, right?
cringe. Yeah. Ko wametene, aringanunune, kamu. That's what the All Blacks do as well. Sorry, I'm getting too pumped up about this, fully distracted from what we're meant to be talking about here. How are you doing, Pumpkin?
I'm back. I'm back.
Are you back?
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I just came back to hear like just that last part. I was like, what's the All Black?
It's my
doing a
rugby
haka
team. That's
before
my
the
rugby
start of this
team.
conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare one.
You don't have your
Yeah.
Maori chant ready? Because I was
no.
expecting it, just so it's clear.
No, I'm British.
Oh.
We just colonized. We didn't learn anything. We did.
Yeah. Sorry, Pumpernickel is on the other side of the world from me.
You could
He's actually British. I'm a Kiwi.
You
We're
could
actually
just steal their culture and try, you know?
I mean, we
That's
do.
like a very
We do our
British
very
thing.
best. You got
Yeah.
a whole museum to that.
The Queen actually loved
pretty
New Zealand.
good. We're pretty good at it, to be honest. We are
That's
very
true.
successful.
Britain
actually
was
have the best parts
extremely
of every
effective
culture.
at it. Very good at sticking their hands in other cultures' pockets and
Yeah.
pulling out the good stuff. Yeah.
We see something we like, and we're like, we can take care of that better than you can.
That's actually mine now. Mine now. Yeah.
Wonderful monolithic obelisk from Egypt.
Anyway,
Van Gogh painting?
yeah,
Yoink.
I'm cleaned up now. That was a disaster, but yeah, we're good to go.
Messy. All right, so welcome in everybody. So today we're going to be talking about ADHD, and personally, like I grew up with ADHD and only recently got diagnosed, and you know, I feel like it's probably affected like little parts of like every day of my life and whatnot. But I've been on like a journey of like not really thinking I had it and not really believing it, and probably having like a lot of misconceptions about it. So I'm really excited today to be talking to Erudite, who has like an academic background in this. And my friend Pumpernickel has actually had like a pretty massive interest in it as well, and he has helped me come to understand a lot of the things I've been dealing with, like my recent medication that I've been getting. I've been able to like pass my emotions in a way that was so unfamiliar to me, but I think is probably pretty common to most people. So we're going to be like asking those kinds of questions and hopefully focusing on getting some of those like academic stuff down and then working into questions from you guys and what is ever's going on, and we can clear that all up with this awesome opportunity to talk to the wonderful and not so erudite. So
Thanks for
yeah,
having
Erudite,
me.
this is
I appreciate
Pumpernickel. And did you have any socials that you wanted to quickly like check out at the start?
Yeah, if you
Or
guys
yeah, like your academic background as well would be cool to hear about.
Sure, yeah. So if you guys are interested in following any of my shit, it's not so erudite, Erudite, just basically everywhere. Academic background. So I'm not an expert in ADHD. In fact, there is an amazing expert that I recommend everyone check out because he's got a lot of very reader-friendly material. His name is Stephen Fairone. He is like the ADHD researcher in the world. I think his H index is like over 240, which if you know anything about the H index
Oh,
is
this is
insane. He's like a
how they're
superhero
referenced
in research.
by other people, right? This is how much their work is used across the field, I think.
It's like the
Right.
impact. It's like kind of view it like the impact
Mhm.
score of a researcher. It's not perfect because if your field is less popular, you'll have a smaller H index, despite maybe being prolific in your field. But yeah, a 240 H index in psychology, at least, is like a really big fucking deal. For context, like Andrew Huberman, who's actually a very well-established researcher in neurobiology, and he also gets H index for his like public work. Only has like 42. So just to give you an idea of Stephen
Oh my
Fairone,
god.
he's amazing. And I was gonna say he will talk to streamers. I've had him on my stream before, so you guys should message him. He'll probably do a stream with you guys. But he usually does like
Oh.
45-minute segments. But he's amazing.
Was his name Stephen Fear Wax?
Fara1, Fara, and then 1, ONE.
Pharaoh1. Okay. I got
Yeah,
him.
let me try to. Okay, yeah, and he's got a
Pharaoh1,
site.
not like
Steven.
Pharaoni or something.
It's
Sorry,
fair.
I'm
It's
just
he didn't
I'm just
correct me when I
goofing.
said Stephen Fairone. So if it is Pharaoni, then I goofed hard.
I'm making things up
He's
now.
got ADHD site. He's got
Oh
this
my
really great
god.
ADHD site.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just looking at his credentials. This guy's
Guys.
prestigious.
Yes, he is like when I'm saying he's the ADHD researcher, I mean like he is the guy. He revolutionized the field. So he's the expert that I'm going to redirect you guys all to over and over and over again. So I'm happy to kind of tell you like things that I have read in literature and stuff like that. And I do have a background in psychometrics. So that's a graduate diploma. So that's like 2/3 of a master's. Psychometrics is the study of basically psychological constructs. So IQ tests, neuropsych tests, all those things. That's what I'm kind of trained to both develop and deliver. I worked in psychometrics for a lab that I have never publicly released because all of my workplaces formally get harassed. So I've kept them safe from that. And before that, I was an
Damn.
addictions counselor. Yeah. Yeah. You get
Oh yeah.
harassed all your former workplaces. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's the sheep. It's the sheep, though.
Exactly.
They know.
Exactly.
And then yeah, I've got an honors degree in psychology. I did an honors psych degree, so no minor, just all psychology with a full thesis. It's like a program to prep you for master's program. So I've got some research experience and then worked in the psychometric field as well. So that's my academic background, but I'm not an expert in
Awesome.
ADHD. Just to be clear.
That should be really useful because I'm totally want to like go into a little bit of how the like I just mind fucked myself because I I messed up my stream display a little bit and had to fix it. But often people will have like funny reactions to the prevalence of ADHD and like they'll say like, oh, everyone has it and this is that. And I am like super interested in talking to people about how the diagnostic criteria is actually like quite strong, quite efficient, and as well as like the treatments and other things that you can do for it are probably something we'll go into a little bit as well. We had a chat earlier asking about like the uses of therapy and whatnot. But before we get into all of that, I was just wanting to ask, maybe this is a better question for Pumpernickel, because he has probably been thinking about it a little bit, but like, what exactly is ADHD?
Okay, sure. So just to preface this, again, like Erudite here, I'm not an expert in ADHD. I have no
Don't worry, I was definitely
academic or
get her to
clinical
certify whatever
qualification
you
in that
said.
background. So just to be like
Don't worry,
completely
bro.
transparent.
I was gonna put you on the
Do
spot there.
everything Pumpernickel says. Everything Pumpernickel says is a prescription and a medical prescription for what you can do, Chad.
The accent does a
That's
lot of
right.
heavy lifting in making me sound more authoritative than I actually am. But like just in general, I feel like
repress your
Erudite
ADHD
mentioned
chat. Become obsessive.
Farrawan.
Take it out on your
I feel
kids.
like I feel like our reading background in the subject is going to be so similar that we're really not going to have a lot of disagreement on almost anything. The lion's share of what I've read and have studied in has been information produced by Russell Barkley, who is now a retired clinician. So he doesn't work in the field anymore, but he's a legend. Even today, he still releases weekly like literature reviews on ADHD related studies and things that come out through Google
Yo, what's up,
Scholar.
Francis? Welcome to the chat, dude.
He's like fully
W's.
invested now. He's now YouTube retired life, but he's still like super like emphatic about the topic and really interested in it, and it's like pushing that message. So a lot of what I've got to
This
say
guy he's
is
talking
built
about
on
is
the
really
Barkley
good.
model.
We'll look into this later.
ADHD, which may differ a little bit from other models, but I am pretty convinced is the most accessible and accurate description of ADHD. So to answer Chris' question, I take a slightly different approach than some maybe some actual professionals would, and maybe a lot of people in the ADHD community would. In that I'm pretty black pilled on ADHD. I think it's terrible. I think it's life destroying. I think there is a lot of
really, yeah.
There is a natural inclination to like try find a compensatory advantage to having something that's a negative. There's like a desire to find some kind of compensation there, and I feel like that impacts a lot of internet culture and how people, look, I have ADHD, I can't do this, but I can hyperfocus, and that's not good either. Actually, that's also bad. That's not the benefit that you think it is.
I'm at a point where I feel like it affects like my everyday life, but I don't really know how to like put that to people, and some people like don't even really believe in it.
That's part of its diagnostic criteria, right? Like part of how we identify that something is ADHD versus something like maybe anxiety in a kiddo is that it should be pervasive in all environments, right? It doesn't matter whether you're at home or at school or at daycare, you should be affected by your ADHD because it's neurodevelopmental. There's no reason why it wouldn't. So it does touch every part of your life.
But the fact I have it intuitively implies that I should be feeling like it's everywhere in my life, or definitionally.
It just means it will. Yeah, it just means it will. That's how we diagnose it. Yeah.
Like I'm self-assessing
That's one of the
correctly
different
there.
diagnoses. Yeah, that's very interesting, Pumpernickel. I would say, as somebody who's read a lot of Stephen Farrawan, so one of the cool things that I think will happen, I'm not as familiar with Russell Barkley, but I have watched and read some of his work. I just come from more of like a neurobiological background that tends to be more of my like just personal interest. I like genetics and neurobiology. And so it's interesting because Farrawan is the guy who did the research to show like this is highly heritable. This is genetic. This is biological, what we're talking
Mhm.
about. This is a brain developmental issue. And Barkley is the one who's been really good at translating that into clinical language of like, what does that look like and feel like?
Exactly. Yep.
They're a really cool symphony. And unfortunately, it is a black pilling because when I watch a lot of, as you said, ADHD stuff, they're like, we can hyperfocus. Farrowin did this research on this. You guys don't hyperfocus. It's that when you go into flow state, it's so unique compared to neurotypicals that it feels like you're hyperfocusing and you don't have the skills to break out of it. Whereas
Yeah.
like every neurotypical person may be like, oh yeah, that's flow. Like, yeah, that's like normal. But you guys are like, this is so rare. I'm like hyperfocus. It's so special. And
Yeah, this is
it's
awesome.
actually really
Um,
normal. You just like don't have the executive regulation to break yourself out of a flow state when you might need to.
I gotta
Exactly.
say, like, from my personal experience, like those flow states or whatever, it's never like replicable, which is probably why you say it's like so rare. Because once my brain is like knows what it's doing, it doesn't want to engage because that thing is like boring. So it's always like a new activity that I'm engaging in that with, which is essentially like almost like a real time IQ test. But I hate to say it, but like I'm usually a lot better at things the very first time I do them because it's the only time I'm like ever dialed in, and then I'm like excited because I'm never like dialed into things, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm like really trying my best.
Yeah. And so I
Um,
think there's this unfortunate thing that I think you Pumpernickel you said really well, which like ADHD is life destroying. And I think like unmanaged, undiagnosed, unmedicated ADHD
Mhm.
is life
Yep.
just it can be very hard, right? There's levels of severity, obviously, so it won't be as life destroying for others. But regardless, this is why when ADHD people go on ADHD medication, like this is why I think ABBA made his video. Like it literally you're like, "Oh my gosh, everything's different now." Because it's the only treatment that's effective with ADHD. Like it's like glasses for your brain. You just one day you're like, "Oh, I could have been seeing shit this whole time for like 35 years. I could have just been wearing glasses. That's crazy."
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I mean. Like he's amazed, like by it, and it's just like the experience I had. And I'm like, and he couldn't see it when Destin had it, and it's like amazing, dude. So cool to see. Like, and Abba's so well rounded and successful in every other part of his life. So you would never think that, like, oh, like this guy, like, even he is like blown away by this. And he directly says in his video, like, it was impacting my social relationships. I didn't go to uni because of this or that. Like that shit is kind of ruining his life, even though he has this amazing, amazing life. And a lot of the things I see from like older people who grew up in a time where ADHD wasn't really like directed properly were either A, they fall into like a interesting job, like one of the most interesting old dudes I met was the mayor of Christchurch, which is the biggest city in South. He picked me up one day. I was hitchhiking, and he pulls up in a classic car, and I talked to him about my ADHD problems, and I couldn't get diagnosed, and I couldn't get medication, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I have that as well." And you'll never guess like what job I fell into. It was one where I could do all these different things, and eventually he told me he was the mayor. Or the other thing is these people are like hyper focused. Fuck, I shouldn't use the word hyper focused because people end up thinking I'm talking about some benefit of ADHD, but they're not. They are having such a shake up to their perception of themselves because they can't do things, and doing things requires so much more effort that defines them. They're like, I'm the hard worker, I'm this, I'm that. They end up being, sometimes there's an ADHD person who's a CEO. They're very capable in this or that, but they define themselves as, I am the guy who works for this company. Everything around me matters towards this company. They're not managing their stress well. They're not as happy as they could be. They might be successful in this one thing, but inevitably, literally inevitably, because ADHD is affecting every part of their life, the rest of their life, like, suffers unreasonably. And on top of this isn't me catastrophizing this in this way. I'm sure isn't why Erudite and Pumpernickel also say it's worse than they think. I think you guys are probably thinking on more a societal level and how it impacts the people who don't have ADHD and why they should care about it as well. Because how many people have ADHD? Do you know, Erudite? Is that number growing as well? Are more people getting ADHD, or is it just getting diagnosed better? And is it more prevalent in men and women? With some pretty interesting questions I had.
Yeah, so I actually did a really big lit review on this in like 2017. So to be fair, this is 2017 data, but I did a big paper on like overdiagnosis of ADHD. We tend to see young white boys will be overdiagnosed with ADHD. There's a lot of young white boys that typically have like trauma or sleep issues that if you resolve their sleep issues, the ADHD goes away. And it's like, okay, well, that's not ADHD, that's sleep issues or trauma. Whereas young Black boys are vastly underdiagnosed, or young boys of color essentially are typically underdiagnosed with ADHD. They're
Yep.
more likely to be diagnosed as FASD, so fetal alcohol syndrome. Especially this data that I'm mostly referencing is Canadian data, because that's what I was studying at the time. But in Canada, for example, a little native boy who's showing all the symptoms of ADHD will functionally look a lot like a mildly FASD child. And because he's
Mhm.
native, they'll just be assumed to have FASD, but they actually have ADHD, and FASD
Yep.
really should not be on stimulants that much.
No.
It can be very hard for an FASD brain to be on stimulants. That's not a good situation. Whereas the ADHD boy desperately needs it. So we see in young white children a very high likelihood to misinterpret anxiety, like trauma and anxiety, or sleep issues as ADHD, and then it's underdiagnosed in girls and people of color.
Is there?
Yeah, I've not got much to add to that. I just wanted to join in though, just like with the conversation that we see in social media and TikTok around overdiagnosis of ADHD. And like in the UK, speaking from my country's perspective, there was a big
Go
mainstream
dox and
documentary
harass
released
Chris Lettuce
about
and
like
go
a
kill him.
potential ADHD overdiagnosis, a kind of moral panic. Like, are we getting too many kids on stimulants? Just like last year. And it's really disheartening to see these same arguments repeatedly brought up over and over and over again when it comes to and you know, Erudite, you're the statistician as far as psychiatry here is concerned. So correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I understand, the way that you check for an overdiagnosis in any given population is that first you have an assumed prevalence of what you would expect to see in that population. So in the general public for ADHD, it's about 5% of adults thereabouts would have ADHD. And then when you then compare that to the amount of adults that are prescribed stimulants, what you get is about 6%. And that, you know, just looking at the
Wow.
numbers, that looks immediately like a slight overdiagnosis. But then you realize that stimulants are also used for other conditions like narcolepsy and things that aren't ADHD, which would explain for that slight difference there. So yeah, like when I talk about ADHD, I'm trying to like really drill into the people that suffer from ADHD, just how bad it is, really how bad it is, how destructive it is. But also I'm trying to speak to the other side of the argument and tell them how real it is. Like this is
Yeah.
it's very serious. It's a public health crisis, I think. Maybe I go a little bit further than most people would with it. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah. I think both is happening, right? I think there is an overdiagnosis because of like the TikTok wave, because there is a lot of family physicians that can technically like diagnose ADHD, but they'll give you like a 10 questionnaire self-report, which is insufficient for the diagnostics. Because in the case of mental health, as somebody like most of my training in psychometrics is differential diagnosis. I just think it's really interesting. And the whole point of differential diagnosis is essentially making sure that what we're diagnosing with you with is the thing that we believe it is, especially with conditions, all mental health conditions that have no specific biomarkers. So there's a lot of testing and evaluation that has to go on to build up a profile to go, yes, this is ADHD. And to be fair, part of the testing that occurs is sometimes people will be put on stimulants, have a pretty low effect size, and then we go, yeah, okay, this is probably not ADHD, because the effect size should be pretty much immediate on stimulants. Typically, we'll have to try you on one of both, because some people respond really well to like the Adderall branch, like the Vyvanse style, and then other people react much better to more of the Concerta style, and they're different.
Yeah.
And so you have to try those both out. But if both aren't really working for you, then you need to really be going back to the table and going, what's the differential diagnosis? Because in like young boys, for example, young boys with OCD are often misdiagnosed as ADHD. And the reason that you catch that it's OCD instead of ADHD is they can start develop something called tardive dyskinesia, which is like TD, which is like fine motor movements that they can't control, like tics, that develop because, as you can imagine, OCD is like a ramping up of anxiety. It's like an extreme form of it. And then you're adding stimulation to the brain. So it's like their brain is like kind of melting down a little bit. And so you'll
But the
see
TD
OCD boys.
is for the ADHD people have TD.
TD will occur sometimes in OCD children misdiagnosed as ADHD and then treated with strong stimulants because the stimulants isn't what their brain needs. Their brain needs the opposite of stimulants, essentially.
Gotcha.
So that's one way that you do a differential diagnosis. So the differential diagnosis is really important in that there's a lot of people self-IDing as ADHD, and I'm like, girl, you're anxious. This is anxiety. Like this just sounds like anxiety. And there's a lot of people also underdiagnosing because they're just like, I'm stupid and bad at school. And it's like, no, you're not. You're ADHD. So I think both is happening at the same time.
I think it's a super interesting subject for me because when we get into like examining the diagnostics for something like ADHD, the way that people talk about it online, when we talk about like rating scales, and you mentioned the questionnaire that is used for diagnostic, and I'm not talking about like an internet website questionnaire. I mean like the DSM adult ADHD like rating scale that is pretty ubiquitous, but is also delivered along with like a clinical interview and then like a lot of history being taken. You mentioned earlier that ADHD has to present in different parts of your life, which is completely true. Like if you didn't have a childhood history of ADHD, your grades weren't affected or your behavior wasn't affected, then it's going to be hard to get a diagnosis just as an adult outside of like brain trauma, like physical brain trauma, which can sometimes produce ADHD-like symptoms. But with that, and I guess like the real reason why we were like super interested in talking with you specifically is with rating scales. I think a lot of the lay people will look at that and think this is a questionnaire about a bunch of subjective abilities or traits that someone may have, and you just answer whether you experience these like rarely, sometimes, often, very often. And at the end of that, someone tells you, well, given that and everything that I've seen from parents from your school, it sounds like you have ADHD, and they feel like it's very subjective, not very deep. My understanding of this is that the math that goes into how these rating scales work and how the tests are designed is such that it's highly unlikely for someone who is neurotypical to ever accidentally get into an ADHD diagnosis unless they were being deliberately, unless they were like deliberately falsifying some of their answers.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's.
this is contentious. So
Mhm.
typically, so like when I worked in a lab where we were trying to assess FASD, and so part of the process of vetting the patients that we were going to work with was ensuring that they weren't ADHD instead. And so there are different levels to which you can increase the assessment to ensure greater accuracy, essentially, right? So like the self-rating that you're talking about, the reason why we often will use it and trust it with doctors that are trained in this is because we've correlated the findings to a lot more direct measures. So like if I'm evaluating in a clinical setting, I'm going to use things like the WIPSI. It's a type of neuropsychological test. So like one of the most important tests on the WIPSI for ADHD is called the inhibition test. So this isn't I can't tell you what the exact test is, but it's similar to, have you ever done the test where you'll see word colors like blue, yellow, but the color will be different than the
Yeah,
word?
yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you have to say the color and say, okay, that's essentially like an inhibition skill. And what you'll see if you give the WIPSI to a child or an adult, you wouldn't give the WIPSI because that's the child version, but the WIPSI version of the adult to the adult, what you'll see is ADHD people will score very well on most neuropsychological measures, which are essentially tapping into parts of your brain and how they function and making sure that these like overall functions are working well. And these studies themselves have been correlated quite closely with like damage in the brain, for example. What you'll see is that ADHD people will consistently underperform on very specific types of tests, like the inhibition test. We'll typically also give a small gamut of an IQ measure because, again, ADHD children are going to be dropped down very atypically on areas like processing speed and working memory, while their like verbal skill and their like a lot of their like more cognitive skills will be very, very high, but their processing and working memory will be very low, which is very odd. We would actually consider that a defunct IQ test.
Right.
So there's a
This
whole
is
bunch of
because I'm
neuropsych.
practicing those skills, right, to try to compensate and get by, right?
This is a joke. You're making a joke, right?
Well, no, like the skills that I'm better at, the ones they score high on, I mean, it's because those are all I've got to
No.
rely on.
No, it's just because people with ADHD have normal IQs. They just also have a developmental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So the developmental disorder will show up on processing
Am I
speed and working memory.
misunderstanding though? You said that they were high in some traits, like,
They'll be
or were
high
they
in like
just
verbal.
high comparative?
So when I say high, I mean like normal. Like you can have a dumb ADHD person and a smart ADHD person. But essentially when you do an IQ test, there's five factors that we load onto. All of these factors should be within like 4 points of one another in total, and they typically are. And if they're not, something weird happened. We would consider that defunct. One thing that's weird that can happen is that processing and working memory will be dropped, and that tells us ADHD, depression, or anxiety are happening. There's some sort of cognitive thing that's depressing these two artificially, because these three will still be the same. So we'll know this is probably where the IQ is, but it's deflating everything. These two are deflating. So if they gave you an IQ score, it would be broadly what these three factors are. So it's not that you're like really good at these other things. You're just a normal person at the other things. You just also have a developmental disorder. Dyslexic children, for example, will score super well on all 4 factors except for the vocab typically. A lot of dyslexic children will underperform on vocab, and that's part of the evidence that we use to diagnose dyslexia. Will be like an IQ test. So you take all these so you take all these neuropsych measures together, and then the questionnaire that you're using with your doctor, not the 10 one, but the longer one with the family history, the scores that will be high will inflate in such a way that also inflate when people who have been shown on these neuropsychological tests to have ADHD will also be inflated. So these things can be colored in a way to go, this is really strongly suggestive of ADHD, and giving the neuropsych gambits are very expensive, which is why most doctors don't give them to you. Then they'll start treating you and see if treatment is effective. If treatment is not effective after that point, that's when it should go back and you should relook at the diagnosis. This is why most doctors, they don't say, I'm diagnosing you with ADHD. They'll usually go, I think it's probably ADHD. So this is what I recommend as a treatment of measurement. Come back in and check in so I can see if it's effective. The check-in is important for the diagnostics as well.
Oh,
yeah. Sure. Sorry, that was very long-winded.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's great. It's actually awesome. I love like the little back and forth and getting it like your brain fired up. And you're so ready with the answers, I guess, because you have like the background to know it. But I would really like to talk about like the diagnostic criteria a little bit more, because like that big misconception people have of, you know, like, oh, I could pass